It's me, Annie. It's Annie.
Birth can be a miraculous thing.
Come in.
Hi.
Hi. Please have a seat.
Sure. So I'm having a problem with the assignment due tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah. It's
I can give you some help on the board.
Sure.
So I'm going to show you an example of how stress is a function of time. So let's let more. So S of t is the amount of stress at time t. And the goal is to minimize S of t. So to minimize the amount of stress. Okay, so what are the steps for minimizing this function of stress as a function of time?
So you're gonna find the derivative.
Very good.
So my handwriting's like really sloppy.
It's okay.
You're gonna set the equation to 0.
That's right. So set S prime of t equal to 0.
And then you're gonna solve for t.
Okay,
It's a function of time.
that's right.
And then you're gonna plug t back into the original equation.
Very good. So the original function. Yes.
Original function.
Yes. Very good. Good. All right. So that's a procedure, and actually, I mean, that was just an example of a particular function, but this will work for any function.
Okay.
Very good.
Cool. So do you have any suggestions on how to deal with stress when, like, some parents, specific parents aren't around during this time of year?
I guess you could ask the parent that you're for any advice.
Oh, work. Never mind.
All right.
Get it. Thanks for your help.
Sure. Dear Annie, I am glad I was able to find you. Soon you will drink the contents of this bottle. Follow this haiku. You will learn to drink the blueness of the bottle. Think about the cure. Visit the house at Abramovic Lane tomorrow at 6 p.m. Find your way to room 317A. There, and only there, you will find yourself again. Come alone. Do not fear. Happy birthday, honey.
So I wanted to make a quick update. Thank you for watching Annie's Cure. My husband and I created this while I was an undergraduate at university, and I literally included some of the lyrics to one of my longer song poems in the beginning of this film, which I cooperated with the government many years ago. I think I was like 17 or 18 years old. Anyway, I again wanted to thank you for watching my video, sending positive vibrations your way. I wanted to make a quick update because I decided to re-upload this video, and I'm hoping that the black and white filter I'm applying works out pretty well for the film. And I definitely wanted to give an update on one of the mise-en-scenes in the film. Me and my husband went back to the Greenway Trail in Port Jefferson, which is where the scene with the man with the black robe was filmed. And my husband and I lived there when we were undergraduates by the housing complex there in the Heatherwood, so it was really nice. And then we had the trail next to us, so it was easy to go out there and film. When we returned not too long ago, I'd say a few months ago, the area where that was filmed was completely different and very scary. I highly recommend you use the space for artistic purposes, but when we went back there, I just have anxiety just thinking about it. It was absolutely horrifying. The branches were falling down around the vehicle that I had stepped on, and it was almost as if the vehicle had turned into some sort of like compost for this wooded area. Like it started almost, the car almost started like decomposing, which granted the material would decompose over time, but it was strange. It just had a very strange and eerie aura, and the tree branches were surrounding the car, almost hugging it and almost strangling it and almost growing into it. It's like instead of the car kind of just staying as it was, it's like the trees are adapting to it being there, and not beautifully so. It was very scary. It was very scary. It was very dark. A lot of the trees were grown inward toward the car and toward the wooded area, toward the path. So I was so scared even just going back to the scene because it was so dark. The entryway was very dark, so by the time we approached it, like, the trees seemed more of a canopy this time around, and the entryway seemed so dark. I actually offered one of my rings as an offering for like a sort of peace giving to the ground. It was very scary, and I remember that it was so dark, and when I say canopy, I mean the trees were like a canopy, but not very high up at all. They were like a canopy of about me and my husband's height. So it's like the space just kind of grew inward. Granted, the trees are bare when we filmed this, so maybe that's all it was. But it just seemed like it metamorphically shifted. And it was so scary. I was absolutely frightened and absolutely afraid. And the car seemed like it was bashed in more and dented in more, and almost as if it were giving up. Almost like the car had a spirit. The spirit was giving up. It was very scary. And the car was almost like it was smashed in again, And I don't know how that could happen, but it was like the car was dented in more, and it was very sad. It seemed like it was like the soul, spirit of the car was just dying, and it was just almost like it wasn't there. Like it was the car and the trees and the area, it was there, but it wasn't there. So I highly regret not taking photographs and a video of this. Should I find my way back there, God, please don't make me go back there. uh, I will try to get footage, but it was horrifically scary. And I've seen a few quite scary things in my life, and this spooked me to the core. I don't know why that area became so scary. And it was dark, although it was daytime outside, it was much more darker than the outside area, like dark hues of dark greens. And my husband and I couldn't even find the hill where he descended with the black robe that he was wearing. The hill like just blended in so closely with the car and with the trail that we were walking on during that scene. So I don't think we would be able to even get that scene again if we tried. Maybe if the trees are all bare, maybe. But it's like the space closed in, got really small. And yeah, like I said, I don't even think we could film that scene again like that. It was so squished in the scene. I'm sorry, the mise en scene. So it was very scary. And I thought to myself, how is this possible? Is this the place? Like, I'm 100% sure it's the place, right? But in my mind, it's so different that I'm like, is this really the place? It looks so different. It looks so different. It was so closed in, and it had such a scary, eerie vibe, Like, I'll try to send the vibes through this video of how it felt in a safe way. Archangel Michael, lend us your shield, please, during this process. But, sending over, and just as a feeling, or as a thought, the essence of what this place felt like now. Whew, it's like it kind of just died, that area. And you just kind of want to cry because of the loss. You just kind of want to cry because I know it doesn't mean much, and it doesn't have those same feelings as I have towards it, because I was an undergrad when I filmed the scene with my husband, and the film meant a lot to us at the time because we were having a lot of fun experimenting with the film. But it's like going to maybe one of your old favorite childhood spots and just seeing, or a favorite spot of yours that you have that kind of connection to, and seeing that it's not quite the same as it was before. So you see the place in disarray, like maybe your old childhood playground or something, and you go back and you see that maybe the slides are too close together, or the trees are overgrowing, the slide, so you can't even go down the slide anymore, that sort of thing. And something that you wouldn't expect, that's just very creepy, that shouldn't be, just a heap of sadness. And I couldn't understand, because during the whole trail, I think it takes about a mile or two to get to this location in the Greenway Trail. And during the whole trail, I didn't feel anything like that. I just felt a little reminiscence of some weird feelings, but I didn't feel anything super out of the ordinary, I was just kind of happy to go on this nice walk and find this place, for old time's sake. Me and my husband visited, I think it was 6 years later. So I guess a lot could happen in that 6 years, 7 years time period, because it changed a lot. But it was like, we learned in school, change could happen over time, but apparently this change that happened over time wasn't very good. Like, the feelings were just, like my heart stopped in my chest. God bless me. Like, my heart just kind of had that feeling of, whoa, this is not the same vibration. This is not a safe space anymore to be in. This is not a safe place to be. You know, there's this feeling of impending doom. And I wondered why I returned back to the spot where, you know, as an undergrad, I would jog there and stuff. And that's how I ran into the space. And, you know, my husband would take his mini drone out to go flying. One time he went back to work and actually went back and I found it for him. And people would take their dirt bikes out there. So I don't know why that feeling of impending doom came over me like that. It was quite frightening. So I wanted to share that as an update to Annie's Cure, and thank you for listening.